about the consequences of drinking and driving. It might not be interesting to some people, but it's very important to all the people around the world. And I believe that after you have listened to my presentation and have seen all the figures and facts about this avoidable problem, you will never drive under the influence again. I know many of you are tired, so I'll keep my presentation short. I have divided my presentation into 4 parts. First, I'll talk about the influence on a person's motor skill. And after that, I'll inform you about what problems you would face if you drink and drive. And thirdly, I'll tell you about the inconvenience you will cause to the society if you have a drunk driving car accident. And finally, I'll tell you about a true story about drunk driving car accidents. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them at the end of my presentation. Let me start by looking at how alcohol will impact on your physical body. If you drink alcohol, it would impair your overall ability of driving. For one thing, you cannot scan or see things clearly. For another thing, you cannot judge things from right to wrong. And thirdly, you cannot make risk-reduced decisions. For example, you may not be aware of traffic lights, or you might run through the red light and then cause the car accident. So now you understand the impact of alcohol on physical body. Let's move on to what would come if you have a drunk driving car accident. If you got caught for driving with blood alcohol content over 0.05%, there are some problems you might face. Your license may be suspended for 1 or 2 years, and if you cause really serious car accident, you cannot have your license for the rest of your life. Also, you may need to pay a fine for 15,000 to 60,000 NT dollars. And what's even worse, you may need to go to jail if you got people killed or injured. Now you know what the fine you have to pay, and if you drive under the influence. But the thing is, not only you need to pay the fine, but other people too. Let's move on what hindrance you might create to the society. If you have a drunk driving car accident, you will cause traffic jams and you waste people's time, particularly if the car accident happened during the rush hours, because it's many people being late for work or school and so on. And secondly, it also costs money. You need to call police, ambulance, and some people might need to receive medical treatment. And those things are paid by taxpayers. And thirdly, it causes people lose their family or got people injured. And sometimes you can never make up for what you did because their family are shattered. A lot of people, they don't take drunk driving seriously. That's because they never thought how bad it would be if somebody got killed or injured by the drunk driving car accident. And you could do nothing to make up for what you did. However, it happens a lot in our life. Let's move on to a true story about drunk driving car accident. Jacqueline Savarito. She is a victim of survivor of drunk driving car accident. She was born in 1987, and she is the only child and lived with his father. Jacqueline Savarito went to U.S. to study engineering, hoping that she could take over her family's business after she graduated. But in September 1999, on the way home after a party, a car accident happened, and it has totally changed her life. Reginald Stanby, he was a drunk driver. He was born in 1981 in Texas. Reginald Stanby was sentenced to 7 years in prison and $20,000 fine in the year 2000, and he was released from prison on June 24, 2008. But how did it happen? How did the car accident happen? Definitely Sabrina's friend drove her friend and her home after a party. There was a 17-year-old teen boy. Oh no. 7-year-old boy who had drinking all night, and then he decided to drive home on the next morning. When he was driving on his way home, he hit their car and caused the car got fired. When the car accident happened, Jacqueline Sabrito was stuck under the seat. She couldn't get out. Some people tried to help her out, but they forced to stand back by the flat. So she was left in the car and burned for 45 seconds. Finally, she was cut from the car and then sent to the hospital. Do you know what happened to her? Don't be shocked. It's really sad.
Yeah.
And it's true. I guess we have some technical difficulties. We are having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, take your time.
Look at the picture. That's how she looked like after the car accident and had more than 40 operations. Although she survived, she has suffered third-degree burns on 60% of her body. She lost all her fingers, eyes, nose, hair, left eyelid, and her eyesight. And until 2003, she had undergone more than 40 operations and still has more to go. But even if she becomes like this, she is still brave. She tries hard to keep her life going on. And also, since she had survived with the car accident, she started the anti-drunk driving campaign. And she tried her best to inform and tell the people not to drink and drive, because she is the best example in this case. Let's watch the video and see what she tries to say to us.
Take your time.
My name is Jacqueline Sabrina. This is a picture of me before I was hit by a drunk driver, before the car caught fire, before 2 of my friends died, before I had more than 40 operations. This is me when my life was just like anyone else in college. This is me after being hit by a drunk driver.
It's okay. That's okay. No problem. We don't understand.
We can, maybe it's not connected. It's okay. Okay. Keep going. think about after you watch the Jacqueline Sabrina's case. Think about your family. Think about your friends. Do you want them to be the victim of drunk driving like Jacqueline Sabrina? If you don't want, or you want to have people have a good life, happily. So to remember one thing, never ever drink and drive. Thank you very much.